Hi, Trevor here, Life Reflection Requests. Thank you for stopping by. Well, come in again today. You're very, very welcome. This channel has received a request just through conversation, which is pretty cool. But before that, I trust you enjoyed my last video from Howie Day, and through his song Collide, we looked at what happens when relationships start. So I trust you found that one encouraging. Well, the request is we go to 1981 Toronto. This guy had a Finnish ancestry, Alfie Järvinen. And Alfie taught himself guitar as he was growing up, and he got quite good at it. And he started to play with some people, including Jack Johnson and the Weather Station. In 2009, he released the album Pink Strat, and he would release that under the name Bahamas, and this has been his stage name ever since. So Bahamas recorded Pink Strat in 2008, just in a cabin in rural Toronto, Ontario, and he kind of took Canada by storm a little bit, just with his easygoing, effortless style he's got. And that particular album was nominated for a Juno Award, which is as a Canadian awards. And so, Canada sort of took notice of this guy a bit. 2012 out came the album Barcodes. And in that particular year, he got nominated as Songwriter of the Year in the Juno Awards again. And so, he was getting acknowledged by the industry as well, just being someone just a bit different to normal. The song I've been asked to look at is Lost in the Light. This is quite an interesting song, this one. We've got a kind of a studio kind of version and a live version below of this particular song. Alfie's just got such an incredible voice. His songwriting's just that little bit different, a little bit quirky, a little bit just catchy. I love his style, actually. Studio live version below. Lost in the Light. One of the lines, before we were lovers, we were friends. And I was trying to think what this song was actually about. I'm thinking, well, darkness, light. Let's go there to start with. So light. What does light do? Light exposes. You turn the light on and all the stuff that was in the dark is now in the light. I remember going to Las Vegas, and we're up a bit high, staying up a bit high, and we looked down the two strips that are in Las Vegas, and there was light there, and then either side, pretty well straight away, was dark. Thinking, wow, such a contrast between light and dark, because we don't know how light Las Vegas strips are, but just around it, blackness. It was a bit scary. So this Lost in the Light's implying that the light has been a scary place. Perhaps there's been a bit of too much exposing going on. Perhaps there's a little bit of like, oh, I didn't really want you to see that bit. I didn't really want to see that, but I didn't really want to see that bit. And maybe our relationship too. We don't want to be quite exposed to what our relationship actually is. I actually don't know how to deal with this being exposed bit. I don't know how to deal with that. So I'm a bit lost in the light. So maybe let's just go back into the darkness. Let's just pretend things are okay as they were. Let's just pretend that we don't need to worry about the stuff that light is exposed to. Let's just pretend it's not there. No, one, it could be that it's just not worth worrying about, or two, it is actually worth worrying about and it needs to be faced, but I don't want to face it. I want to stay in the dark. So Lost in the Light, no, don't like it. It's almost like on the Las Vegas Strip, hey, if we don't like the light, we'll just go one street off and we'll be in the dark again. It's just so much easier there than in the light. This is the challenge with light, right? Now, we're not talking about physical sunlight. We're talking about, I suppose, a light in I suppose, a spiritual or a philosophical sense, is that light does expose things we may not necessarily want to see. And when we're confronted with this thing we don't want to see, we think, well, what are we going to do with it? Well, are we going to deal with it? Or are we going to just push it down and hope it goes away? Well, the problem with pushing things down and hoping to go away, it will come back and get us eventually. So I think what the challenge of light is, it encourages us to look at it in a new way maybe, and think, okay, let's push through this thing, let's deal with this thing so we can move on. Because the problem with pushing things down is it's just waiting to rear its ugly head at some point. And so the better thing to do is to celebrate the fact that light has actually exposed this thing, and actually talk about it, deal with it, and move on. But it can be scary and confronting, and I think this is what Alfie is coming in. Alfie's dealing with in this song is, man, this is just a little bit too confronting, a little bit too full on, and I don't know if I really want to face it. So how good is it with songs to actually expose all of the nuances of human experience, and the challenge of light and dark, absolutely. And so, if you are being confronted with, perhaps you've seen something for the first time, it could be something you yourself have found out about yourself, or think, oh gee, I didn't know that thing existed. And think, well, it may not be so good. Another movie that comes to light, just thinking about it right now, it's funny where your thoughts go as you're talking. Saturday Night Fever. Back in the 1970s, absolutely massive movie. And in that particular movie, we had, John Travolta's character dancing, king of the dance floor, all the rest of it. But Saturday Night Fever was about a life that gradually unraveled. And in a sense, the darkness was the dancing, and the light was the stuff that gradually got to a point where you couldn't put it off any longer. And particularly in where just everything goes wrong is probably with the darkness. He said, I don't want to deal with the darkness anymore. I need to walk towards the light. And the movie did have a really pretty good ending. A bit of a starting again, hopeful kind of ending. And I think this is where we're going today. The darkness can be pretty compelling. You can hide in the darkness really, really easily. But do we want to hide? Because the thing about hiding is we hope we don't get found. Well, that only lasts for so long. And so this is a really, really good song, this one. It's good to actually give it a bit more reflection today, because as you know, we don't react here, we reflect. And my hope always with these videos is that if one person's been encouraged by these videos, well, they've done their job. And so I trust you found this one a bit encouraging today as you consider your own being exposed moments. Move forward to 2014, out came the album Bahamas is Alfie. I think he's just wanting to say, look, my name's Alfie, my stage name is Bahamas. I've got a bit of a following, but people need to know who I am. So Bahamas is Alfie came out in 2014, and we got this live version of All the Time there for you below. So between 2009 and 2023, there's been 6 studio albums and 12 singles. And there have been some Juno Awards, many nominations, but there have been actually some awards given to the Bahamas as well. So the links to those 3 clips are in the description below, and I've also included my last video from Howie Day, so if you want to recap on him, feel free. Well, thank you to the guy for the request today. It's always great to do requests, and I hope you'll be encouraged personally by the reflection today. Well, if you come back for another one, or this is your first time, the Life Reflections through music, or as it is, Life Reflection request today, thank you for doing so. Next time, we're going to move on to the Hughes Corporation. So until then, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.